Okay, so I actually had something very funny happen today where work said music can be very therapeutic. So what are certain tones or tunes and tracks that are dominating your playlist that help keep you in a good mood when there's a lot going on and it could be stressful? And people shared the top song of their playlist. And of course, what did I do? I said Louis Tomlinson Lemonade, and I added in the symbolism is Jungian, and people actually hearted it. So yes, I am now proposing music therapy at work using Louis Tomlinson music. I am not joking. Okay. So last time we looked at the yellow portal moment in Louis Tomlinson's Lemonade video, the transition, the symbolism, the fan theories. And today, we're going to sort of map some actual parallels that fans have been pointing out, have spotted between Louis' Lemonade era and Harry Styles' Watermelon Sugar era. So we'll show you a timeline of what's confirmed, what's rumored, and then interpret these through a Jungian and Otto Rankian perspective. So if there's anything that's kind of incorrect, just make a comment, because I didn't have too much time to really do the research. Unfortunately, I have a limited time, but people had commented on the last video that they wanted to have this parallel thing come up in a video, so I put it together. So whether you think these are deliberate or serendipitous, the patterns are real, and they may tell us something about creativity, identity, and communal myth-making. So let's go. So fandoms are good at noticing patterns, especially the Larry fandom, because they have basically honed their innate detective skills through the fandom. And across Reddit threads and X posts, here are some parallels people are talking about. So one is the costume stripe shirt parallel. So in the Watermelon Sugar video, Harry wears a pink and gray striped crop sweater with a high waist. In the Lemonade video, the sock puppet wears pink and gray striped socks and a rainbow hair accent. Many fans argue this is visually matched. 2, the fruit drink metaphor. So Harry's era watermelon tastes like strawberries on a summer evening. Louis era lemonade, drink imagery, lemonade stand by a puppet. Fans see this as a mirrored metaphor. One sweet, one tart, both liquid, consumable, transitional. 3, pool water imagery. Harry's video ends with water. Beach scenes, full immersion into the body of celebration. Louis' ends with a fully clothed dive into a pool after the Lemon World trance. Okay. Parallel, transformation by water, sacrifice of old image, rebirth in a new realm. 4, color palette and nostalgia filter. So Harry's visual palette, coral pinks, peach, sunshine tones, retro film grain. Louis palette, dominant yellow, lemon hues, vintage lens, saturated daylight. Fans link these as sister palettes, sister eras of creative play. 5, crowd communal joy scenes. So Harry, beach group dancing, joyful, tactile, community-oriented. Louis, scenes of people in yellow bodysuits. Puppet audience, theatrical crowd space. Parallel, the public self returns via group ritual imagery. 6, symbolic reperformance of the self. Harry, the video begins with a formal table, then shifts into chaos, sensuality, release. Louis, the video begins with a staged photo shoot, then he abandons it and enters into the lemon world. Fans read this as both artists revisiting the performance self, then stepping into the authentic self. So yes, multiple concrete parallels exist, and fans have posted screenshot comparisons, shared comment threads. One Reddit user wrote, and sock puppet is Harry's shirt from Watermelon Sugar video, pink and gray striped, and with rainbow hair. Seriously? So let's interpret these parallels through Carl Jung. Archetypal twins in duality. So the mirrored imagery hints at the twin hero archetype, 2 individuals representing aspects of one mythic self. Jung says the psyche often externalizes its content in pairs, shadows, and figures. The parallels between Louis and Harry become symbolic of this twin structure. Each is the other's mirror. Color as psychic state. So yellow, lemonade era equals illumination, solar consciousness, individuation. Pink, coral, watermelon era is eros, integration of feeling, surrender to sensation. Seen together, these color fields suggest the conneuncinto opposorium. I can't pronounce this properly. I don't know Latin. Jung's idea of integrating opposites, sensation plus reflection, body plus mind. Water is transformation. So water immersion is the entry into the collective unconscious. Harry and Louis use this motif differently, but the effect is the same. Surrender equals rebirth. Jung calls water a primordial symbol for the unconscious and psychic renewal. Now Otto Rank, the artist's second birth. Rank argues that true creation is a second birth. The artist separates from external definitions to generate a self-world. In Lemonade, Louis dramatizes that separation, leaving the photo shoot world, entering his own realm, the return of the double puppet. So for Rank, artists struggle with their double, a projected alternate self. The sock puppet acts as Louis's double. He's simultaneously creator and observer. That puppet mirrors Harry's image via stripe pattern and stands for the externalized myth. And then there's the concept of will versus fate. So Rank posits the creative will as overcoming predetermined identity. The parallel visuals show both artists reclaiming will. Harry through bodily freedom, Louis through creative authorship. The fan-observed parallels thus map a psychological terrain, from being shaped by myth to shaping myth. So let's pick 4 of those parallels and interpret them more deeply. Again, this is all just ideas. I'm not asserting any kind of factual claim or material information. I do think that when it comes to creativity, a lot of times there is a lot of significance in the selection of symbols, image, color schemes, whatnot. Other times it's just pure fashion. We don't know, but it's always fun to kind of ponder, right? So 1, striped costume puppet. So simple, stripes equals dualism, light, dark, conscious, unconscious. Jung, stripes evoke the interplay of opposites. Rank, the double or the other must be faced for individuation. Thus the puppet dressed in stripes suggests Louis confronting his double, the mythic Louis or the mythic Louis and Harry. 2, fruit drink metaphor. Harry, watermelon sugar equals sweetness, bodily immediacy. Louis, lemonade equal transformation, distilled self. Jung, fruit equals self-realization, harvested from growth. Rank, drink equals internalization of created self. So together they depict a journey from taste experience, which is a Harry theme, to distillation and meaning, which is a Louis theme. Okay. Water pool imagery. Harry sinks into sensation. Louis consciously dives away. Jung considered water as a symbol of the unconscious, the origin of life. The dive is a ritual of rebirth. Rank, the artistic act is a return to the womb of creation and emergence as a true self. Thus, both videos dramatize the creative cycle, immersion and then emergence. 4, crowd and communal display. So Harry's beach party feels collective pleasure. Louis's yellow crowd feels stylized unity. Jung, the crowd is the collective unconscious manifested. Rank, artist needs audience but must transcend it. So the parallels show both artists engaging the collective, but Louis takes one step further toward authoring his scene. So the fandom has mapped 3 parallels across years. So 2019, you got watermelon sugar visual clues, the pink stripes, the fruit, the beach freedom. 2020 to 2022, fan threads catalog mirrored lyric patterns between Harry and Louis. 2025, Lemonade drop adds visual counterpoint, yellow world, puppet, costume echo. In fan posts, you see language like, there have been way too many coincidences. This is orchestrated. One of the commenters in the other video said this. The fandom reading becomes part of the myth. Jung would call this active imagination. The community participates in symbol making, and Rank would say that the artist-audience contract is co-creative. The symbols exist only when the audience recognizes them. So we could ask, are these parallels deliberate? Well, maybe. Are they meaningful, even if unintentional? Definitely, because sometimes it's called the Freudian slip that it emerges visually. So from a Jungian perspective, oh God, I can't believe I just mentioned Freud and I just said Freud before Jung and those two hated each other towards the end. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Anyway, so from a Jungian's perspective, when the collective psyche resonates, symbols spontaneously synchronize across creators. From a Rankian view, once the artist enters the second birth, will and myth merge. So that creation invites layered interpretation. So whether Louis consciously referenced Harry or not, the parallels function as psyche bridges between creators, fans, and eras. So to wrap up, we've mapped the real observable parallel visuals between Lemonade and watermelon sugar, costume, drink metaphors, water imagery, crowd scenes, color palettes. Then did a bit of an interpretation of them through the Jungian lens, which is the concept of archetype, individuation, color symbolism, and the Otto Rankian lens, which is the artist's rebirth, the concept of the double and the creative will. And we've seen how the fandom becomes part of the symbol stream, meaning making is both communal and creative. So next time you watch a music video, you want to ask, what part of the self is this artist rebirthing? What part of the crowd co-authoring with them? If you enjoy, so this is the deep dive. It's really just opinion because we really don't know. Everyone's got their own interpretation. We always, when we look at art and the appreciation of art and the interpretation of art, you can get 10 people to look at the same work of art, whether it's a sculpture, a painting, whatever it is, and they'll each have 10 interpretations. And you'll go to the artist and they'll say something else. So it's deeply personal, but then you can see these themes emerge where you have collectives and sub-collectives have their all independently having their reaction to something. So it's really fascinating what we see. So share your interpretation, share your decode, and then, remember, art doesn't just reflect the unconscious. Sometimes it becomes it, which, there's a whole thing about art therapy. So there you go. But I think there's going to be more. I think the sock puppet just was really quite obvious when the music video premiered, and it with the stripes being horizontal. And I mean, there's no way that if you're okay, I'm going to take off my psychoanalytic hat or my amateur psychoanalytic hat for a second. But think about it this way. If I'm upset because the fans have this long theory about me and my former best friend from a band, and it really, is affecting my relationship because I think my girlfriend, I'm talking if I was Louis, my girlfriend is like a stunt, right? Because that has been coming up a lot. The stunt. And the last thing I would do, knowing for sure that the Louis army, the Louis were looking so forward to my video, I would almost deliberately veer away from anything that could be remotely construed as paralleling anything that is a hairy aesthetic visual in his videos. So the fact that you've got this sock puppet that's kind of featured, like it has like the main frame is on this puppet and it's pouring lemonade, and it's like, okay, clearly the stripes, like right there, it's like, you gotta know that people, if you think that people read into too many things, you would not have a sock puppet with this design. You would maybe pick one with a totally different design with like polka dots or something. But it's the design, the color tones. It's just like, how hard are you trying to kind of distance yourself from the quote unquote rumors? And wouldn't you, as smart as you are, because Lou is a very smart guy, would you not realize that there's going to be an immediate like connection and conversation and buzz because it looks like the shirt in watermelon sugar? I mean, come on. So that's where I say there's no way I don't think that it's not saying something, because if you really didn't like the rumors, you would just had a whole different artistic concept with this whole thing. There would be nothing that anyone could say is remotely similar to anything that Harry put out visually. But anyway, with color codes, these two, this is not the first time it's happened. So let's see what happens next.